Derpy one?
Derpy back yet? Have you put Derpy back instead of Rapid?
No. I've been busy.
Apparently not with the important things. Sorry, no Derpy.
No derpy, yes. No, well, no derp there.
No. That's the only
Hello. It's, I gotta play music. So, how are we doing? I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. So this is going to be a bit of a test stream. Let me switch to this here. So, I have a lot of changes since Friday. Yeah, since Friday. On how the stream is done. I'm hoping that it looks mostly the same, but under the hood, everything is completely different. I am not streaming from the same computer. I'm actually, I am outputting the video to a second computer that is now streaming for me. So I had to move everything over, and that was complicated. But that offloads a lot of stuff from here, so SFM would run better. And now I can do some sort of gaming stuff. Anyways, audio might sound different. I tested the stuff, but let me know if something just gets weird or doesn't work. Whether you can't hear certain audio or something, because I can only test so much. So let me know if it breaks. With that, also stream is different today because of time restraints, because of the pill PC thing having to be rushed. A request/commission that I got to have done by the end of the month has to be moved forward. So I'm gonna be working on that because I got permission to. So it is a SweetieBot thing. And it is just a loop, kind of like we were going to do with the Power Ponies. But I want to get it done like in about 2 weeks at most. So the biggest thing is just setting up and getting all the resources. So that's strangely enough, I had.
Is that a child glimpse that we're zoomed in on that?
Does it make previous thoughts uncomfortable? But strangely enough, I had a file from July of 2019 that I started, and this is basically to make what I was planning to make anyway. So that's why I thought it would be fun. So that's what we're gonna do. The other thing too is, sorry, is the audio quality fine out of here? Because my PC has a sound card, the new one doesn't. Meaning I'm running off whatever the onboard stuff is, so I had to play with other settings to try to approximate. I don't like the sound of it 100%. I'm potentially going to move the sound card over because I don't need it for my PC really. But if it sounds fine, we'll go with it. So okay. So because this file was started, yeah, it sounds different, but not that. That makes sense. Well, and this mic, not that mic. This mic is going to be going away by next stream too, because I have an XLR mic, which is.
You just bought that mic.
No, I bought this mic 2.5, 3 years ago. So I have a new one, and I'm going to be replacing that once I get the XLR set up, because I don't have the mixer yet. So yeah. Anyways, the reason for the XLR is that it has two outputs that Michael might actually be able to speak into something. So, anyway, so, it's coming out of that. I probably want to.
Yeah, it's the wrath.
Yes, it is. Actually, you know what? I kind of like that. It might echo a little bit in the mic, but for now, because I don't have the stuff set up, I can at least know when people say stuff.
They tried to get me derp, but
I just tried to try derpy. Yeah, sorry, there's no derpy.
I mean, there could
be. I'm not going to change it right now. It's through tomorrow. Tomorrow I need it set up, and then I'll probably change it back. But
it should be derpy tomorrow.
No, it's not going to be derpy tomorrow. We're going to be doing the Monster Hunter stream again tomorrow. Now with the current setup, I can do that. And the funny thing is, the current setup, I have a Be Quiet case and a Be Quiet power supply, an i5-10400, no graphics card, and a cheap motherboard, and I can't hear it. It is 100% silent. It is great. Anyways, so for this file though. So she's gonna look a little weird right now because I only got part of the way through modifying the model to what I want. So it won't be tomorrow's stream is a Monster Hunter stream, so that's why that's set up. So I wanted to go battle torn, so I had moved all the textures for SweetieBot to the Five Nights at Freddy's models, which because it gave it some of this like destroyed look. Some of the angles I have to be careful on, which is actually pretty good. Like, I think they work pretty well. And then I used the Future Twilight model that was made with the mechanical eye to get that. So the head is actually because this eye, it's actually Applejack. It's just a white pony with yellow hair. It doesn't mean it's derpy. It is a little derp though. But this eye was very cheap, and I didn't like that, so I went with a better one. So it's fake derpy, yes. So what I need to do is kind of finish setting up this model a little bit. For one, yeah, that eye doesn't work. We definitely need to change that. I just didn't have time to do it before stream, so I just left it. So a lot of this stream is actually going to be set up, playing around, loading some stuff. The behind the scenes crap. So we need to find the eye model for Sweetie Bot. I'm gonna guess it's under materials, models, VNMLP. Is the music going through too? Let me make sure that. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. Sweetie Bot. There we go. And which eyeball right? Yeah, there's no eyeball left. Oh, we are. I thought I clicked that. What we're gonna do. I know. I think you'd prefer to just watch the stream in the tiny little corner thing. But that might help a little bit. Okay, eye.
Just looked over and I'm like, that doesn't seem right.
No, that was right.
That was right.
Yeah, because otherwise you're just... Actually, you were less visible. So now you're more visible. So that's why you're doing it. See, I was trying to show off my great right side. Mm-hmm. And you just ruined it.
Good. I'm here to ruin things.
Yes. All right, so we're going to put...
I was like, just leaving that. It's a texture not found on Sweetie Bot. Sweetie Bot eye texture not found. Beep boop. The Five Nights at Freddy models really do work well for Sweetie Bot.
That's why I went to it, but I don't like...
How you gonna get her main?
That I can just load from the original model too. Not T, I need R. Okay, there we go. So now we have that eye. That's the Sweetie... Is that...
Yeah.
No,
right.
Hold on, that's wrong. The model, I bet you... And actually, you know what? I should do red. Only because...
But her eyes aren't red.
But it's green when she's like in good mode and red when she's in angry mode. And I have to do both, actually. The eye for rent. Kinda. Sorry. Have you heard of thanks for the follow, Jiggles. It's weird to say. Have you heard of Uncriticalized on YouTube? His plenty of SFM videos are pretty damn cinematic. Not that I know of. I don't watch too many other animators because I don't watch other distribution channels to even find. Every now and then I do a search through, but normally the detailed search into the community is on before streams or before the monthly stream or before a convention when I'm trying to advertise people. Then I'll go through and try to find somebody with a really low sub count that has really good content or potentially good content or that has potential, and I'll add for advertising. Hello, Jiggles. Well, welcome.
I used to watch funny videos almost religiously, but lately less so.
What was I gonna do here?
Not that I still don't enjoy them.
Yeah, I usually just watch. I watch a lot of tech videos and science videos and stuff on my free time.
I mean, if somebody throws a funny video my way, I'll watch it. Don't get me wrong. Just I don't go searching for them like I used to.
Oh yeah, that was what I was gonna do. Okay, so I need to figure out what is it here?
Oh, that's
yeah. So There was about 2 shots that I was supposed to do. Oh no, that's the green screen portion. So I want to know what exactly I'm going for first. Oh, there we go. 2 versions, kind of floating, maybe even jets coming up from the roofs or something. Looking angry and battle damaged with their rocket pods and miniguns out. Barrels rotating kind of slowly. I think they're on standby. That'll be make it a little more interesting for being a loop, but still doable. Dark dramatic lighting, maybe some laser sights coming from her weapons. It's so super fancy. And then the second one being less angry, more worried. Okay, so I can worry about that one later. I got the details I need for this one.
Video like that was released at some point in time.
What's his name? Bench Thief.
Yeah,
Bench Thief made that.
I'm curious to see what he used.
It was just the standard one. But it kinda. This one is probably the better for that because I added bump maps to everything too, so that it has nice sharp lines along these edges. So there's a lot more detail when I actually turn the lights on. And actually, this seems. I put time into this, and then I never did anything with it.
I mean, it's definitely cool. It feels like it's just completely skinned, like it's 20 bucks, like all over.
How about SFM at a 640 by 480 window? That's the way to do it now. Well, actually, the nice thing is now with how I'm streaming, I can actually swap to 2K, and it doesn't change it. I can still keep streaming, and like it doesn't cause any problems. So I can. I was thinking about doing that, but then I think it would cause it to be slightly harder to read for you, so I just decided to keep it as it is.
The magic of a capture card. It does not care about resolution.
It'll just come up and say no stream for a second, and then it'll pop right back up. I mean, on my side, or like a little placeholder. So, oh yeah, she needs to be angry. So let's make her a little bit angry. This eye is not right now. It is taking up. Oh no, it actually doesn't scale. It's weird. You move this backwards. So this is a flat round circle, and to change the pupil size, you just move it forward and backwards, which is actually pretty smart. But to this bone does the spin of the whole eye. It's slightly off balance, but if I do it just right, you can change the distance and the spin at the same time, and then it makes it look like it's zooming in and out.
It's kind of like how a robotic eye would actually work.
Well, that's how I did. Oh, not this one. Other Heroes one, which is under here. When the head turns here and it does that, that's how I did that look, and I love how that turned out. That I love that. So, and that little like glow effect that comes out from it is actually After Effects. I did not do that in post. That like cool glow there. That was After Effects. So, oh, if anybody hasn't seen this, this was a Heroes thing. Oh, this is the cheap preview. This is the final. This was done for Equestrian Narrator, I think, a couple years ago. It was a commission because he wanted it for advertising stuff, and it was like with most times if I ever do a commission, it's because it sounded like something I already wanted to do, and so it was taking something I already had a passion to do, and then had an extra benefit to it. So that's why I made this. This actually took quite a while to do. Basically, her whole model is like a reproportioned everything, and it's like 5 different models mixed in one. There's 2 hair models on top because I needed more hair.
I feel like if I was reading those Fall Factory book, that one would be the one I'd use, but I think anything after what I've already read is not as popular.
Yeah, Heroes is still pretty big. And then the Christian Area has read most of the book, so I was listening to it for a while.
Oh, you did read most of that?
No.
Oh, no.
I listened to the first couple chapters. That armor is a scaled down version of the Warhammer armor. So I just, it was normally big and bulky. I shrunk it down until it just barely had the skin clipping, and then made it shiny and with like battle damage. And then I took like a scorpion tail, changed it to look metallic and shiny as well. And then added one of the neck, or the neck is just turned black, and then this back thing is a the back of a pyro, I think, from TF2, just to have something to go up to the head. And it's this hair over here. This mane that does all the like the wavy stuff, that would be like a 1 hour tutorial. That was done 100% in post. None of that was in the render. Let me see if I can find the render. It's kind of interesting.
I think, I mean, the original Fallout Question book, if you've never read it and you're interested in reading and horses, it's definitely worth a read.
So the original render looked like, okay, for one, the model, or her, it was supposed to be her right eye that was mechanical, so I built the whole thing in reverse. So it was supposed to be that her right eye was mechanical and her left leg was mechanical. So I just built it all in reverse and then flipped the video because I didn't have a model that had a mechanical right eye. I completely forgot about that. So it's going to be a little backwards. But yeah, so this is what it looked like when rendering her. And then what I did was I did a full render once with no main, just the normal colors, how I wanted everything to look. Then I did another render like this. And so this was, I didn't care about the quality on this. I just cared about there being the corrected depth of field and then the green screen. And the green screen was so that I was able to define a layer between her and her background. That was really the only purpose. And it is used only for masking. So none of it's only for defining the edge of the mask, nothing else. So you don't see anything from that render. It just made the masking easier. What's full test? I think this is a different thing. Yeah, that's just another test render. But to do this in post took a while. I couldn't have her turn or move. I had to do one main here, another main here, another little piece that came around here to have this edge where her main would be, and then another unique set here. So I think these two are basically identical, just differently timed. This is a unique thing, and this is a unique thing. But then I had to add special lighting to make it look like the lighting was coming from... It was a... Don't... Oh, thank God, like 21 months, Jesus Christ. That's a lot of time. Thank you very much. It ended up just being a challenge that was really fun, but just messy. How did you make the negative light for footsteps? Oh, actually, I was planning to put out a tutorial for that probably Friday. Just depends on whether or not I can figure out some time between today and tomorrow to record it. It was really just a negative light shined on the ground. So if you want, I could kind of show how that main thing is done, but I probably would have to kind of re-look into it myself again, because it's and it would be like a way over everybody's head because I can't remember what the hell I did. But it was fun. I remember that. But yeah, for the negative light, it was just literally shining a negative light at the ground. We had a very, very, very low negative brightness. That was really all it was. And it would be that it only show up though after the hoof left that spot. But I will technically put that as the next tutorial I'm doing, is negative lights and how to utilize them. So how did you make a normal main flow like in the wind or something like that? Well, if you're talking about like these ones, this is the Blackjack. I think it's called the Blackjack _NM model for new main. And that one had a bicolor black and white, no, red and white hair color. And all the different pieces of the hair were separated into individual bones. I actually took 2 of those on here to give it more hair. And then here I did the same thing, just made it a little bit all over the place. So that I could have that hair effect. I really didn't have any choice for whatever her name was, I forgot. And just because she was supposed to basically be like a pink Sweetie Belle. So, but yeah, and then I literally just waved the hair. I did test some things with this model about because if you launch carefully with it, it's not just about moving the wind, but it waves with the wind, but then it has the bursts of wind. That took me a little while to figure out how to do the way I thought would look good, but it turned out really, really good. I'm really happy with the result on this. But I love doing, like, this is what the Sweetie Bot's going to be. It's going to be something like this, like a loop that just repeats forever. No changing camera, though. But very, very similar anyway. Ooh, she looked. So, anyway. Make sure I didn't miss something. Give me the knowledge in my brain. I can get IV right to the face. All right. So Sweetie Bot here. The one thing with the Sweetie Bot I'm concerned about is you have to do Sweetie Bot's hair, because if you don't, then it's not Sweetie anything. It's just a bot.
Well, are you going for like a Sweetie Bot that's always been a bot, or Sweetie Belle, whose like disguise is uncovered? Like,
it's a loop that's standing still. You're looking for a backstory of a loop.
We got two very different Sweetie Bots in this.
What would be the difference?
One would be like she's always been a robot, and everyone knows she's a robot, and she's just a robot. And the other one is she's Sweetie Belle, but secretly she's a robot. So,
and how does that change anything?
Because one would have her like with a normal mane, and the other one would have her like with a robot mane.
What would be a robot mane?
I don't know. That's something we would have to figure out together.
I want to see your definition of a robot mane.
Far more square.
Happen to have a good resource link for negative light. He spoke of. Like I said, I will. I am planning it because I don't have the time to finish a highlight for this Friday. I want to try to finish a tutorial for this Friday. And if I don't by this Friday, by next week anyway. But I will be having a full tutorial. There's 3 things I want to cover on negative lights because 3 main uses that I have for them. I can't remember what those 3. It was false bump maps, cheap shadows, and cheap decals. And by cheap, I mean like a lot easier, higher detail with some big downsides, but it depends on your situation. But yeah, I'll be doing a tutorial on that very soon. So then that'll be everything. Hey, Michael. Skylight wants a voice impression of a robot main. And if you say beep bop boop, you try again.
That was all I had. You stole the only thing I had. Robot main?
Yes, you invented it. That's not a voice. That's like the beginning of a poem. Oh.
Sure, I can't do beep boop. Wait, those my hair.
Is that how you style it in the morning?
Hold on. Blowing in the wind. Every
one of your individual hairs has a servo motor attached.
That's how it blows. It's like. There you go. Mission accomplished.
Does that suffice? I don't think it quite does, but that's about the best we're gonna get out of them. All right, a Terabed Formula 1 engine. That's okay. We'll go with it then. So we want to have all this attached to the head. So the head to there and the head to there. So 0. That's fine. I don't think that's zeroed enough. There we go. So, oh yeah, because I'm at the edge of my monitor. If I grab, like, say right here, I can't actually go all the way to the right because I don't have a second monitor to go to anymore. When I'm working solo on stuff, I run into that problem of not fully putting sliders across. All right, so we have her head there. This is going to be a little bit difficult just because... Did I change the head size or something? I'm not sure. We're going to poke around with this because I have a feeling... thanks for the follow, wonderful day. That's very positive. So the problem right now is that hair is too small. Wait, does she not have a horn? Sweetbot doesn't have a horn. She needs a horn. I almost forgot about that, actually. So we're going to add a scale to that. We'll see what we have to do with that later. But we need to get rid of her skin. But then we have to be careful with that because any shadowed lights are going to cause problems. That's not how you spell alpha. Alpna. Okay. So that gets rid of Sweetie and becomes nightmare fuel. A frog. So the problem we're going to run into is that I can put her hair on there. But it's going to have this eye crossed over. That is fixable. Because I'm not utilizing her left eye, we are going to just permanently break it. No, it was in there. There we go. So eyeball left this. We're going to switch this to vertex lit generic. We're going to comment this out. And because of that, I now have access to alpha.
How Suri was saying I sounded like his old hard drive.
Sounds right. Mm-hmm. All right, now let's see if that works. And this means that any other instance of Sweetie Belle or Sweetie Bot will have a broken left eye now, but I don't need it for anything else right now, so that's fine. I can just undo that later. It just says like an old hard drive.
His old hard drive, yeah, that was dying.
Oh, it did say mine. Okay, I was looking for his. If you aren't hacking together models in SFM, you don't SFM, right? Well, to me, the amount of time it would take me to export everything and change it permanently, if I'm going to use a model over and over and over and over and over again, sure, then you can save yourself time. But if you're just using it for one instance of things, screw it. But it does have problems because I used to like exporting my animation sequences to a file that other people could download. But if I have multiple models together, I can't because they're all split between different models. It makes it messy and non-transferable, but easy.
I always did enjoy that when you need a part from a model, you don't just like go into a modeling program and separate the part and then add it to another model. You just shrink down one model, put it inside of the other model,
which is quicker.
I mean, yeah, sure. It's just very entertaining about like how you just like slap things together.
Okay, I need to figure out iris purple thin. I'm gonna guess this is the texture I'm looking for. Because I need to change that to red because they probably should be the same color. So we're doing the cheat on how to get to our directory. Iris purple thin 00. So self-illuminate, that sounds right. So the actual texture of it is purple, which is weird. Which one of these is it? Oh, purple and green. There is a red. Because she's mad. Red, mad, thin. Oh, that's perfect. Well, then I don't even have to make a red. So this one isn't an actual iris. So it's just a base texture replace. So we're going to grab that. Red, mad. Red, mad, thin. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. That is true anger. Why do you have 3 hard drives? Are they all external? Just wait. So, it's going to get real complicated soon. So the way I have my whole drive set up is that this is an SSD, a standard SSD, and it is just my operating system. I do not install much to it at all. So it's just the operating system and then some random stuff. This is my storage drive. This is where all my renders and my live streams go once they've hit a certain point, or once I'm done uploading them, I put them there. As you can tell, it's kind of full, running into some problems. This main is basically where I put all my installs. So in this folder, I actually have a program files folder. So any of my normal installs go into that. So this is a 5200 RPM Western Digital Green, 3 terabyte. This is a Western Digital Black 10,000 RPM, but they're still both spin drives. This is a 1 terabyte M.2 Samsung Evo 970. So that's an expensive little hard drive, but it's because I use it for all my gaming stuff. So basically all that I install here is game stuff. I plan to get rid of this drive, the 2 terabyte. I want to get a cheap 2 terabyte M.2. I still have 1 slot left. Move everything to that so that I can get rid of 1 spin drive. And then the second PC that I made for streaming is going to be my server PC, where I'm buying 5, potentially probably 6 terabyte drives, just because I was going to do 4, but the 6 have a big jump in cache size. I'm going to get 5 of them, run RAID 5 in a 24 terabyte RAID 5 server. And then I can just offload all my storage to another PC. So that's the plan. That's why this is built to be super quiet, because it's going to have 5 spin drives. So.
I mean, you say super quiet and spin drives in the same sentence.
Well, these are NAS ones. They're higher quality. I'm not getting 10,000 RPM. They're 5,200 RPM, so they're not spinning super fast. The one I have in there is a 10,000, and I can hear that one when it spins up. So, but again, this thing is silent, and it's a be quiet case, so they have these individual drive bays that are all separate from each other and hover, and with rubber seals on the outside to make sure that any vibration is minimized. But I'm running out of space, because about 1 terabyte of this drive is stuff I need to move, and this is almost at 3. So I have approximately 3.5, 4 terabytes of data to move. So that's why if I have a 24, I'm already filling a good 1/6 of it right at the beginning. I don't want to fill that up. So
I think you have a free M.2 slot.
Yes, I do. So that's why I'm going to get rid of this and move to an M.2. But I'm going to go a cheap M.2.
I mean, I got mine for $200 on those 2 terabytes.
Yeah, mine's going to be like 180.
Yeah, I figured it got a little cheaper.
Yeah, I'm going the cheapest brand I can. This M.2, the Evo 970, is about 5 times faster than the one I got for my stream PC, but that one is but the Evo can go up to like 7 or 8 times faster. It's just nuts how fast the Evos are. That's why I did it for gaming. I actually had a problem when I was playing Dragon Quest 11. It would come up with the loading screens, and it would have a bunch of tips for the game, but it would come up and it would load so fast it would just immediately close the load screen. So I never read any of the tips for the game because I couldn't. It would be like whoop, whoop. And it was sad, but it was cool. It was really, really nice having super fast load times.
I don't know what notes you're taking there, Surya.
Thanks for the follow, Onyx. Sent a tutorial by Zach Scott adding a particle effect to a model that is invisible, the effect intact still. Yeah, actually I do that all the time, because if you attach a particle effect to a horn, I normally don't attach it to a horn. I'll load like a piece of wood into her head and lock it there, and I'll attach it to the wood and then just hide the model, and it will still make the effect around the same area. So yeah, you can definitely just... It's going to follow the model's outline, but you don't have to maintain it. The problem is you can't maintain a lock to the model. If you have it locked to it so that it follows the motion of, it will not work. You have to have it locked to the motion and unlock so that it follows the motion, because it had been parented, and that's the only way it'll show up. It's really weird.
So when you get this private server of yours all built, what do you plan on running on it?
What do you mean?
I mean, do you plan on running any games on it?
Why?
Well, maybe somebody here that's sitting in this room wants a Minecraft server. You don't know.
Oh, you mean as a server for gaming?
Yes.
I technically could.
I mean, why else would you have it?
But I would need a bigger, beefier processor for a large... No, it's a home server for storage. It's so that
Boring.
My PC can access it. You could access it. My tablet can access it. Anything can access it. So anything I put on there, if I wanted to send you a file, you send me a file, you can just drop it on the drive. Stuff like that. Just don't do that because I'm going to password protect it. And you can't touch it.
Wow. Like, I trust you to use my server. You know what? No, I'm not.
Hello, Enigma. Sometimes very strange seeing people loading, starting loading simulator in 40 seconds. Yeah, it's the M.2s that are M.2s are just super quick, and now almost every motherboard comes with them. Like that's why for my streaming computer, I got an M.2 mainly because it was convenient and easy. Thanks for the follow, Lettuce. Hello, Spotty. I wanted it to be silent in an M.2 for the price. If I were to go an SSD 1 terabyte, a standard one, I would have had to run a bunch of cables. That would have been messier, and it would have cost me about like $10 or $15 less. But the M.2, because I went the super cheap route, plugged right into the motherboard, runs faster than the standard SSD, no sound, no nothing. Like right now, the computer's running, and if I could, even if I put my ear next to it, I can't hear it. It's nuts. Thanks for the follow, Veep.
I do remember when I got the M.2s for my computer, it was the first time I had even seen M.2s other than, like, I had never seen them. You had brought them up. But then I went to install them, and I didn't watch videos or anything. I just had the M.2, and I knew my motherboard took M.2, so I just stared at it and, like, I know this goes in somehow.
I love your ability. You like when I was putting together this thing, I was like, I had all the instructions up for the case and the motherboard to make sure I have everything plugged in, and you just go and plug things in and hope for the best.
Yeah, everything I do is trial by fire.
Like, that's why I'm surprised you haven't blown up the pressure cooker, because you're just like hitting. You hit buttons. That's all you did.
I hit the right buttons, and I made delicious.
But what if you hit the wrong buttons?
I don't know. It would have killed us all.
No, it would have killed you, and then it would have... Well, the problem is, if it killed you, I wouldn't get the money.
I mean, I was nearly killed by a pressure cooker once, but that's a different story, and it was a much older pressure cooker.
But, see, if you're going to kill yourself by the pressure cooker and then damage my living space,
that's where the problem.
Then you better put me in the name on your life insurance policy. No, TF2, what is the name of it? The turret. Is that what it's called from the engineer? Because I searched turret and it didn't come up. What is it called? I don't know. This is like some other weird turret thing that's kind of broken. That's not what I'm looking for. It's kind of a... Well, it's low poly, so I guess now.
It's like Team Fortress 1 or something.
It might... Actually, it's TF. No, they're all under TF, so... I mean, I can check engineer.
I've never played the original Team Fortress.
Oh, that is not how you spell engineer.
Oh, that's a cutie. I like that engineer.
Oh, it's Applegineer, so that's why. There you go.
Oh, I don't like that one.
Sentry, that's what... Why did I keep thinking turret? I knew... Because I'm like, wait, I've never heard him say turret. So, building a sentry. Okay. The nice thing about the sentries, too, though, is they are in pieces. So I need a sentry level... That's a sapper. I don't want a sapper.
I mean, I like the apple. The apple.
There we go. So, the nice thing about this is it is in pieces, though I will probably need additional rockets. They sent me a reference picture, and yeah, it is definitely just the
top rocket.
Just the turret. Well, the single top rocket is on here. I need a second one.
I just love it twice.
Applegineer, yes. See, that's Mike's plan to kill himself and he doesn't have to pay. Well, there's an old saying that I remember seeing at some point that said, never have your life insurance policy high enough to become a bounty.
Mine kind of is, but the only people who can collect on are my parents, and so far, they're not out to kill me. So far.
Alright, so I have to find the right bones on here. So this one... Okay, it looks like well, is there like a eternal one? So that's the wire. And then this is the spinny thingy. And then this is for the ammo. So yeah, this is the best I'm gonna do. So I need mid-housing right and housing left. Just kind of marking them right now. And then I probably want to grab the whole arm for this. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't think I care as much about this. The one thing I do like about this, though,
Can you detach it?
The cables. The cables could be interesting.
Oh yeah, the other lights.
Actually, that reminds me too. So, okay, the cables are separate. Perfect. So I can set those up at my own leisure.
That is cool.
So I need this, and...
Hey, scope.
Scope? Back to you, big boy. Why'd I say that? That's weird. Mike, you haven't... why haven't you made a derpy bot?
I don't know, seems like it would take my whole evening building
But it's
a
for
robotic
derpy.
horse.
You don't want to do it for derpy?
Oh, sure. But again, my evening.
What else would you do with it?
Nap. Very
You mean
important.
play video games?
That too. I did get 7 hours last night. First time in a while.
We're going to... I kind of want to... I'm going to lock it to your chest too. Only because then it'll help them move individually.
He's building a murder horse.
What's the idea for this animation? It is a request / commission for a Sweetie Bot infinite loop type thing. But I have to get it done in a couple weeks. And due to issues with computer stuff this week, I'm falling a little bit behind in like getting started. So the idea is, and I got permission to start it on here. That is not the right bone. There it is. So I'm going to probably be working on this for the next... Well, technically, I haven't decided what we're going to do on Friday because Adam is in town. And so since he's visiting, I don't want to have him, I don't want to be like, now we got to stream. So I have some ideas for potentially something else, but otherwise there might not be a stream on Friday.
I don't really see much point in external drives unless you're wanting to move a massive amount of data on a regular basis. And even then, they make pretty large flash drives.
What?
He was asking me for drives for internal or external.
Oh. No, all my drives are internal right now. The M.2 just attaches right to the hard or the motherboard, so that one doesn't get anywhere. I technically have 2 SSDs in my SSDs, but one of them's not hooked up. It's because it's a lot smaller and older.
How small is it?
Like 400 gig, I think. Maybe less.
That's not too useful, is it?
It might actually be like 100 something.
Well, that's garbage then. Why is it even in there?
Because I used it for specifically OS, but eventually over time it builds up. That's why I just got a 1 terabyte or 780. I think is what I have now. So yeah, all of them are internal, but once the storage is moved, the storage is going away. And once I get the other M.2, the 2 terabyte is going away, and then I'll have no spin drives in the computer. So, and actually, if I find if I want to move my one hard drive up, and then I can actually remove my hard drive cradle. Problem is I have a case that for some reason the 5.25 bays and the hard drive bays are riveted in, so I'd have to actually pop the rivets. I realized that the case did that, and that kind of angers me.
I remember in my previous computer, I couldn't fit my video card because there was too much. The hard drive racks were in the way. And I didn't really want to pop any rivets or try to take out what was holding in the tray, so I just took a pair of needle nose pliers and bent them all out of the way so that I could fit my video card. I've always just kind of done what works without really concern for much else. Like the case upstairs, my old PC, I wanted better airflow, so I just drilled holes inside the case. Just started making a mesh. It's how you do.
No. NVMe drives are weird. I like them though. It's just It's one of the. I watched a thing recently that was showing like a comparison of 3 different speeds of NVMe's, and really nobody could tell a difference between them. So even though I have a fancy drive for gaming, I probably don't need it. That's why when I replace my 2 terabyte, I'm basically just getting a cheap drive that's rated good. I'm going as cheap as I can with it because I just don't see a need for me to have a high transfer rate on something that's not going to be transfer things on a normal basis.
Man, I made it work. I lowered the temperatures on my graphics processor significantly after I installed another fan after drilling all those holes.
I need to do some, not drilling, but I need to do, the one problem with my case right now is I have a whole bunch of hard drives in the bay below, and that is the only front fan that I have. And so it is blocking a lot of front airflow. And it has a really big side fan, but I want to have a front, that's like a 240, I think it is. It's huge.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much if you're getting a high-end computer, you almost have to have a standard APA. Just for the airflow.
I have my case is a Thor version 2, I think it's called. I can't remember. It's a Thor, but I think it's the version 2 of it. Hello. I love mine. It's just weird seeing a drive, which is also attached to the motherboard. Looks like a Wi-Fi stick of RAM. Yeah, well, actually, it's smaller than RAM. But no, I love the M.2 stuff. I think that they are a super cool technology. But I
don't know if they're really any faster than standard SSD, but
oh no, they're 5 times faster.
Are they?
A standard SSD, by comparing average to average, is usually about 5 times faster than a spin drive, and an NVMe is generally about probably 3 to 5 times faster than a SSD.
Technology.
But a spin drive and a SSD are running through the same cable with the same limitations.
Yeah,
but the other one is plugged right into the board and runs through a whole different. That's why it's NVMe. It's not running the same stuff. I've got a pair of 970 Pros. Yeah, I think mine is either a 960 or 970. I think mine's a 970. But I'm going to go cheap for my other one. I have the good drive for my gaming. I never need more than 1 terabyte for gaming. If that's the case, I'll just uninstall something. I'm not going to be playing enough games to fill up 1 terabyte at all times.
I'm going to check what the 2 terabyte I have is.
Hello, Daleks. And thanks for the follow.
Stupid phone.
It was
Eddie Van Halen.
celebration.
He passed away today.
I know.
Sad stuff.
People die.
Well, they need to stop it.
All right.
It's depressing. Anyway. Let's see.
That didn't work. Where's my add scale? Oh, because it's going to the bottom. That's what it is. So these are a little bit big. There we go. Okay, so for the left one, we're gonna put this like. Wait. You need all to move. There we go. So right now I'm just kind of loading stuff in because I want to know what I'm working with. I don't want to start moving things around and realize that something doesn't work because something else is being loaded. I don't even care about it being accurate right now. It's just about being close-ish. So, oh, that's not. So, rocket arm 1. Okay, I thought it said left. Where'd you go? So if I do add scale, okay, good. I broke it. That's what I thought when I came in as well. Hey Mike, did Argus share the Derpy Dad? Oh yeah, well it's on Discord. Just he's saying go check the general chat on Discord.
The general.
On the Argo Discord.
Okay. I guess I have my phone out so I can use Argo Discord.
So I have to have it took out the whatever 128 gigabyte. Yeah, that's pretty small. Came with and threw in the 256 970. Swapped out the secondary 1 terabyte. The 1 terabyte Samsung 860. Oh wow, the 860 must be neat. But really, at that point, I don't think I would notice a difference in file speed. In terms of gaming loading, from what I've noticed, is it's hard to tell the difference. If you're doing file movement, sure, but I don't plan to do that. So I'm just going to go cheap with that second one.
I mean, Derby's too good for that horse.
And then who's she good for?
To another Derby. We've been over this.
With juice boxes.
With juice boxes. This is Derby's. Anyway, I wanted to figure out what my M.2 was.
Where you get Sweetie Belle model. There's one that already exists, but it is not damaged. It just looks like this. Ignore the broken eye. So it's pretty basic texture. They have the bump map set on some of it, but it's just basically a textured Sweetie Belle with a more metallic looking, shinier body. I went and just added a bunch of stuff and modified it more. So I took the textures from that one, added it to this one, added it to the Five Nights at Freddy model. I am thinking about changing around some of the stuff, like right here where it cuts. I'm thinking about moving this black line up, but kind of be weird then. So I don't know. I have to see what I want to do with that. So it's a Five Nights at Freddy model that's kind of destroyed, mixed with the head from a Future Twilight model, and then just all retextured and redirected to work for what I need. The back hair is a little busted still, but in the hair I might change a little bit too, because I'm thinking I can probably take the hair from the Blackjack model, the one that I had from that other thing I showed, and color it, the two different colors of Sweetie Belle, and see if I can position it well enough that it looks Sweetie Belle-ish, but that it is still chaotic. Yeah, SFM, but that's one of the reasons I loved SFM though, is the fact that I am able to do such heavy workarounds. All right, so what, I haven't set up a camera yet. So let's move I don't want the rest of this here right now. Okay. Thanks for the follow, Fizz. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up this camera. Oh, and actually, that's the one thing I almost forgot about. We need to load a map, and I was told I can go with like some kind of destroyed industrial, but I did check. I want to check Portal 2. Portal 2 has some of those really, really cool, like, destroyed environments that are, like, grown over. And I think some of those would be really, really cool. So, first I need to figure out... which of these it is. There's so many maps. Anybody know what any of this is? I don't know. What part of the story does anybody know Portal 2 well enough? What part of the story was it overgrown type map? Is that early or late in the game?
Early.
Is it?
Yeah, it's before Gladys fixes everything.
Okay, so then I'm guessing bridge intro. Let's check that. It might crash, just me random loading, but okay. What started the game? Okay. I think you get a 500 gig M.2 to replace 120 gig SSD. It depends. M.2s need a specific port on your motherboard. So double check that your motherboard has an M.2 first. For this thing, I bought the cheapest M.2 from Inland, and it basically runs you about $90 for 1 terabyte, which is not that bad. The equivalent on like a Samsung Evo, you're going to spend like 300 something bucks. Okay, so we're kind of getting there. We found poop. I don't want poop. That was bridge intro. Well, my thought is these are all going to be numbered in order. So this is wake up. Okay, so not that. Catapult, core, dual laser, fizzler, laser rays, pull the rod. Let's try core. And this might be where Gladys was. Well, it was right on that. It looks like Gladys's core. But it looks like that is all it is. So, no nature, with a very high fog. What does it show? Oh, that's all right. Okay. So that is not it. If anybody knows the story enough to be like, oh no, it's after that. I mean, that would be great.
It's all overgrown in the very beginning. Like, you want to go back to the earliest maps.
So I'll try intro. But it technically Wake Up, it comes afterwards.
I don't know. Wake Up might be the one where they put you back in your original test chamber.
Maybe. Argo, do you know if you can get any jobs for SFM? If there is, no clue. I knew it was going to eventually crash. I don't know if... To me, there was a thing from a while ago. Pretty sure I saved it, but I'm going to check. That somebody brought up regarding programming. That was like, if you can learn one programming language, you can learn any others, because any programming language you learn is just 70% similar to something else. It's the concepts and the behind it that are the hard thing to learn. And it's the same thing with animation. If you can learn how to animate and do work within SFM, learning that animation process is going to be probably more valuable than experience in the software they're looking for. Obviously, they don't want to have to train you with it, so there's, you know, if you're looking for something, you probably want to go and look into it and figure out actually how to work it. But that to me is going to be the more important part. But there's something just nowadays where everybody's like, I want 7 years of experience, and even if this thing hasn't existed for 2 years. But I would say otherwise, if you just want to put in a resume source filmmaker, you're probably going to get questions, especially in a professional environment. So these go A2 and then they're in alphabetical order. So pit flings, no. Turret blocker, that's A3 then. So A1 is literally right here. But these kind of looked. Let's just grab like let's grab this one. You didn't miss nothing, because I don't do nothing. Oh, Saxy stuff? Yeah, there's... If you want to be involved with Saxy, you're going to have to do almost a group thing now. Ooh, what's up there? Ooh, this is still kind of an industrial look. Oh, this is when you're, like, traveling the thing. Okay. Something like that even would work if needed, but... I really... There's like the one shot from Portal 2 that I really want to find. Catapult intro. I think I might... I don't know if I remember what that's from. Yeah, SFM is a great learning tool. Learning how to animate is almost just as important as learning the software. And there's whole books written on the topic, and learning all the different principles and the getting the habit and the muscle memory and the ideas for how things work. That's what's going to take you a while. I'm trying to think of the part where it's basically like the test chamber's overgrown with like overgrowth.
It's definitely just the beginning of the game and everything. So trying to mark down the specific scene that you're looking for.
Because you're in the... I thought you were like in the sleeping chamber, and then they pull you out of it. But I thought that's the very, very beginning.
That's the very start.
Yeah, so that's to me where Wake Up is, which could become before this intro.
I mean,
Let me try intro 7. I thought there was one that was a little bit outside. Ooh, that's pretty good though. Well, I liked the plant idea. But something like this could work too. And then that goes to an elevator, I'm guessing. Something like this would work. Like this shot right here or something. I'm gonna remember this. So this is intro 7. So let's try intro 6. The cryo chambers, I'm not sure. Why is this the same looking map? Yeah, it goes to the same thing. What are you doing to me, game? Oh, it still says 7. Oh, because I had it selected and just defaulted to that. Have I made any FNAF stuff? No, I'm not a big fan of FNAF. Getting there. Oh, what is this? Ooh. It's grass. Pit. Yeah. Because I'm looking for the one that was fairly bright. Though technically for this shot, I'm supposed to make it dark. That's why I might just go back to 7. Give me a link for the Sweetie Butt. I downloaded it years ago. I don't have a link. I would have to Google it, and just as anybody else would. I started this file a year and a half ago, or a year and a third ago. I tend to download models and then I have a lot of models that no longer exist because I just downloaded them years and years ago, and then the person that made it took it down, and I would just keep a backup copy of everything because of that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a issue with
If they're trying to go professional or something, I can understand it. That's why I keep backup copies for my own stuff. Kinda. Still not what I was looking for. I might just go with the other one. Oh, that's still a little bright though. Oh, it's over here. What's this? What's down here? Or the stairs? Computer. The super fancy building.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a 5.5 inch?
Yeah, 5.5 inch floppy drive. Oh, 1.4 megabytes of data, man.
No, I thought that was the smaller floppies.
Wasn't it the same for both?
Maybe.
Actually,
But I like the ones that really go.
yeah, I only remember the 5.5 inches when I was like in elementary school, and there was this fish game that we would play. That was educational. That was on the floppy.
God damn it!
Now I'm curious, like how much data was on these things.
It's crazy. Like you could fit a third of an MP3 on it. It's stupid.
I mean,
like I'm trying to build a 24 terabytes like RAID, and then back then they're like, we can fit 8 pixels.
Apparently an 8-inch floppy at one point. Storage.
Okay, I'm just gonna load up number 7, and just go with that for now. I can dig it through it in my own time. If SFM keeps shutting down. So the reason it shuts down for me is for an exact reason that I know. Well, normally if I'm loading lots and lots of maps, there's super detailed stuff on a lot of these ones, so it just eventually runs out of RAM.
They held a little less data than the smaller ones. They only held 1.2 megabytes. The smaller ones held 1.4.
One of my big causes of crashing is I run out of library space. So I've downloaded so many models, so many sound, so many textures over time that I can never load more than one library at a time. Otherwise, it will max out of the library on a 32-bit system and crash. So if I go to like right click here and say load model, this is fine. I can load this fine. But as soon as this library is full, if I go to open the sound library, then it will crash. When I restart it, I can open the sound library, no problem. Go to open the model library, crash. So I have to do kind of things in sequences where if I'm working in audio, I have to restart the program to work on the audio. It's kind of frustrating, but you make do with what you got. All right, so we need to get Sweetie Bot over here. Yeah, I'm gonna do this shot right here. The reason for this is because in this shot, it's...
Yeah, like those?
No, I don't. I could probably cover them up though. The reason I like this is because this was lit and this was dark. So if you put the character here, it would give them a dark background. So then you could highlight them much stronger and still have a detail on the left. Is ambient inclusion? It's occlusion, but is it important? Yeah, I would. Yes, I would say. Sorry, I'm allergic to Mike's. Sorry, I said Mike's.
It's because there's two of them.
This is too much. So what ambient occlusion does is it essentially tries to simulate shading on a 3D object without lighting. So on this model, there's actual lighting that is here, but you can see here that it's trying to simulate that even though I have the lights off, that it should be darker right here, and it should be darker over here because the hair is coming down, and it should be darker here. If you turn that off, it's going to go flat because it's not going to have that. So the ambient occlusion is if you don't have a software like Blender that's going to simulate realistic lighting, so it's not going to check all the bouncing of lighting off all surfaces to determine how shadows should be, and it's doing a much simpler formatting because for a game engine, Blender wouldn't work really well playing a game on. Because of that, it's trying to just simulate stuff, and that has some downsides, but at the same time, I like being able to render things a lot quicker. So that's why ambient occlusion is a thing. And normally it's called SSAO, screen space ambient occlusion. That is basically the live version. So right now, basically it is SSAO because it's going to show me only a pixelated variant of it. But as soon as I go and process it, if I go to here, you can see it kind of cleans up those pixels. And it's cleaning that up because now I'm giving it time to process better, essentially. So those pixels aren't pre-render fails, they're shadow indicators. Kind of. So the pixels are just a very, very low render version of the shading. So if you go to render, make sure you click in your background and go to render settings and check here. Normally it's going to say default or use camera settings. Normally the camera setting is 8, which means that when you go to render, it's going to go over that render 8 times. And as you can tell here, I'll move Sweetie a little bit closer here so you can see the difference. So now when I switch to this mode, it's going to be really quick. You can even see down here, 1 out of 8, that it's so quick you don't even see the number flip. But it's still going to be fairly pixelated because you're not doing enough passes to really clean that up. I recommend normally that if you're going to do any of this, to go to at least 64. 128 or minimum 64, recommended 128. And if you can handle it, because every one of these levels doubles your render times. So going from 64 to 128 will double the render. 128 to 256 will double the 128's time. So in this case, if I go to 64, so this is the depth of field and the motion blur. So depth of field is the blur from distance, and the motion blur is the motion blur, like moving objects. But these same passes are what determine the quality of the ambient occlusion. So they're still tied to that. So now when I do it, you're going to see it's a lot smoother. You're not going to see those actual pixels that are popping up there. And depending how you play with lighting and whatever, it can be even better. I wonder if I still have it. I did a picture that compared them
So is there a tiny little sweetie belle inside of that horse's head?
Kinda.
That's a yes.
Did I not keep it? Yeah, I might not have kept it.
Which one are you looking for?
There was
Bon.
when did I make the Australia video?
Weeks ago? I don't remember.
No, it's probably around here.
It's been a while.
No, there was I made a thing that actually showed all the levels of ambient occlusion and what the results were, but I think I'd have to dig pretty deep to find those. But really, once you go to 128, anything past that has diminishing returns. 128 is about the best you're going to see before it's starting to just bog your render down for a little game. Who's your favorite pony? Why is it low now? I'm going to pretend you understood what I said. But basically it just means when you're going to render something, right click, go to render settings, and set these to at least 64. I usually set it to 64 for previews because, like here, it's pretty quick. There's not much going on in the shot. The lights are off. If I turn the lights on, the renders are going to take a lot longer.
I think
actually not that much, but
comment was about when you were talking about the lighting setting, about ambient lighting. And what I derived from it is that there's a setting you can press that makes the lighting.
I just saw a file that I thought was Derpy Juice. Oh, it's because Derpy with the... I juiced her. She is now drinkable. No, that was probably the Derpy picture that we made.
Derpy juice made from pure derpies.
Yes. Well, it's... Why just digest the content when you can digest Derpy?
So I still want to kind of make fun like commercial where like, get your fresh derpy juice here. Don't settle for lesser horse juice.
For camera here, I kind of want to use 85. Oh, there we go. So, okay, I might, maybe 50 will be enough. I feel like if I do 85, to get her fully in shot, I'm going to have to back up so much from this background that, well, actually, you know what, that might work. I don't want, because if I clip through this wall, that it kind of negates the purpose. But, oh wait, no, I can clip the wall. Forgot I can cheat it.
Holy crap, no clipping.
Ha! I forgot, all I do is set up the Z distance minimum, and technically it'll get rid of things close enough to the camera, which is that wall. Can't animate it, but it'll work. Okay. Because she needs to take up basically the full camera. And I could just shrink her down or get her to fit. But...
Nah, it makes you look weird. People kind of have a general idea of what this space is supposed to look like.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be the problem. This distance is now going to cut her out, too. But I'll just have to zoom in. So, Derpy Juice muffin flavored? Yeah, that would be weird. I thought it would be like meat flavored, but...
That makes me even sadder.
You moved City Bell for an example. Well, no, I've been moving her all over the place. Well, you grinded her down. What do you expect it to taste like? Oh. No, that reflective surface.
Oh! There's a giant sweetie.
Technically, it's the same size as the camera here. I technically can just go because it's taking whatever's on this camera. I think so.
It's weird. Why does it do that?
Now it fades away until I put this back, and then it'll pop back in. But watch this.
Neat.
That's cool. It's right now probably just taking the infinite void here because it doesn't know what else to look at.
Is it a reflective surface, or is it supposed to be?
It's supposed to be reflective, but it's supposed to be based on you looking at it, at something. So when it's going to be taking what the camera sees, and right now it's taking what this camera sees, the main camera. So it's always going to be seeing that thing. So, brain flavor. Oh, so you're supposed to do a voice impression of Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, I never really knew what he sounded like.
But why'd you just say it was sad that he died then?
Because he was a famous artist who people liked. It was sad.
You do know like 2 to 3 people die every second, right?
Yeah, but he was famous, so it mattered.
Oh.
Sorry.
But nobody better die that's in this chat or Michael doesn't care.
I mean, chances are I'm not going to care. Look, it only matters when famous people die. That's just how
It's the only time you hear about it.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean,
we're
sure,
gonna
it
start.
matters to you if like grandma dies, but
We're gonna start poking at Sweetie here. So I think so. The idea was we need to put her in a T pose type thing, but I have a little bit of flexibility on how to go about that.
let's see. I don't know anything about Eddie Van Halen other than he died of lung cancer.
Well, he does music.
Okay, so he does a lot of music. So he's like, blam, 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 boom, boom, blam, blam, blam. He had lung cancer.
Did he?
Yes, that's what he died from.
That's too soon, man. Too soon. You're making fun of cancer.
I don't know. In all fairness, I had lung cancer.
Well, now I know why your face looks like that.
Yes. It's true. Now you learned something about me. I've had lung cancer, but I survived. I am down half a lung, but you know, you do what you can.
See, this is why when I say that if he blows himself up, I need the insurance.
Yes. I hope the get wrecked wasn't from you. Haha, you lost half a lung. Get wrecked. Oh man. Dude, it was like that was like 13 years ago.
Stupid face.
Stupid face.
I know what I can do. Oh, I don't have a bone.
He will be missed.
Oh,
Sure.
I just realized. One, I can't do this until the. So technically, the teeth are still showing. So when I open the mouth, there's still teeth there. So I need to get rid of the teeth and and eyelashes because those are on there twice. I'm getting to it. And tongue. Actually, I wonder if there is eyelashes. Okay. Now I can open her mouth. There we go.
He's pretty cute for a robot. I want somebody who came up with the concept of this version of Sweetie Bot. Yes, we need to build a small robotic horse. Okay. And we should arm it with mini guns. Why? Just in case. It's just like, this seems like a bad idea. And it's like, make sure you give it the mentality of a child. It's like, this seems like a really bad idea. I'm not
There
gonna
she's
lie.
got. This is when they say like Sweetie Belle, we'll do take these and we'll go. We'll do this one. Here. Okay. Put that up there. Okay, and then she do there. So then like it's like Sweet Belle eats your vegetables. She's like bzz.
No.
And then
Vegetables do not compute.
and then
It would be hard with vegetables with mini.
and then she's like bzz, bzz. Oh god, well, that's everywhere. It's okay, screw it. There's like bzz. Oh wait, no, you come over here. There, you shoots and they goes bzz. They go everywhere. It's called her attack molars.
Did children like Brussels sprouts? Because I like Brussels sprouts.
See, this is what the cool kids do now. Like some kids, they like go rebel and they get the tattoos or the piercings. Some kids get Gatling guns in their teeth.
This seems just excessive.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
Andrew, I know this isn't a meeting you were expecting, but I felt the need to tell you that your students have been really keeping me together over the last few weeks. My father constantly being angry and still dragging my self-esteem through the mud. Inspired me to actually animate, and I can't thank you enough. So really thank you for doing what you do. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hopefully things get better for you. It's a nice I always see animation and stuff as an outlet, and everybody in my family has always, if they've ever had a time that they're down, being creative helps pull them out, and this is what this is for me too. It's my outlet. So I wish you the best of luck. Though I'm gonna fix Sweetie Belle here because she's a little bit.
I'm only creative when people tell me.
I love it. She's like, those aren't guns. These aren't guns. These are guns. He's like, yeehaw! Bang, 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 bang.
Yeehaw.
Then it tells you to say ah. Just don't pull the trigger.
I just like that phrase. Like, just somebody asking, have you ever been creative? Yes, when people have told me to be, and they tell me what to be creative. That is the extent of my creativity. It's like
Creativity.
creativity. It's like, I wish to be creative. Tell me, what should I do? It's like, do this exact thing.
This is like Beyond or Detroit Become Human.
Yes. That's pretty much it. Like, anytime I've ever been creative, it's generally because somebody told me to do something, and then I did it. So
Like the mod.
Like the mod, or really anything. Like, there's a not really well-known channel called Equestria Gaming that's kind of dead now. I used to make mods for the channel, like on a regular basis. He'd tell me what he wanted, and I made it. And that was what we did, until he didn't like what I was making. He was starting to get too demanding. No, I think he's hungry.
You just know how to take any story ever and then just turn it into something just negative.
No, it's a happy story where lots of good stuff happened.
We're gonna see. The problem is I have to put her like kind of mid pose and then animate her to be in that pose, and that can be difficult. Oh no, actually he said jet, so actually it's not about. I was trying to think of like flying backwards. I guess I don't need to actually do that, but still, it can be difficult because you're trying to think of. You're trying to like freeze time a little bit. I guess I did mention that and said I don't have to worry about freezing time. I don't have a tail yet either. I'm gonna bend this one even more. This one's gonna be ultra bend. There. And then these got to turn down. Just let her auto swatch, nigga. Because, well, maybe she's related to Arnold too. Go now. Get to the chopper.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Because that's.
She should give a thumbs up, like at the end of T2.
Okay. Like thumbs up.
It's like just snap.
Though that kind of looks more like she's just flicking you off. It's like, fuck you, Mike.
Oh,
You're like, you know what? That's not enough. There's number 2.
it's not appropriate for a child.
There's number 2 is like, yeah, Michael, eat this fucker.
Wow.
Give her the roundabout.
That is, she is one blue fruit.
Dude? Did you? No. So I kind of, maybe I'm gonna churn her and have her be like this. We're gonna have the leg kind of, we're gonna actually straighten this leg out. I just had an idea. Inspiration. And we're gonna straighten this leg out. Turn her. The Five Nights at Freddy's model problem is it's not as detailed as some of the other ones, but I can kind of make it work. Argo did voice impression. Yes. Usually chopper. I don't know what that wasn't. The best impression I can do is Minnesotan.
It's not an impression, that's just what you are.
I had considered doing that as another point thing of speak Minnesotan for a minute.
It would wear.
Hmm?
It would wear on me. I can't really do
To
Kentucky.
you?
I can't really do Kentucky. Like, I heard it all my life.
But that's just
I can't
you.
do it. I mean, apparently I fall into it when I get excited. I'll just start with a fairly decent accent. I try to avoid it because it's got a lot of negative
Condensation.
No, not condensation. Condemnation.
I like condensation. To your best Michael impression for the next minute. Well, technically the voice impressions are for Michael.
Yeah, but they're asking you. This is a request from the people.
But I kind of want you. I want to hear you do your best voice impression of yourself.
But I'm doing that now.
No, if somebody were to do a voice impression of somebody, normally they would take their most cliche aspect.
Well, normally when Jay says he's doing a voice impression of me, it's pretty much, "Hi, my name is Michael. I am Michael, and I do like ponies. Derpy's the best." So that's pretty much what.
No,
Jay
I told you to do a voice impression. You're just doing yourself.
He's just a jerk. But no, that's legit what Jay does. He's like, "I'm Michael." And I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, but if you ask Jay to do any voice impression, they all sound the same.
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Hi, I'm Draft."
It's always wonderful.
Michael is really cool. I know. Look at, see, Michael. He's a really cool dude. Let's see thing. That's a representation, not a voice impression. No, I would say that's pretty spot on, actually.
I'm just gonna talk like this forever now. It's gonna be great.
So by doing this, though, I originally had pulled her chest 1 back because I was going to make her kind of fall backwards a little bit, but I can't do that now. So now I need to readjust that. So I'm going to put her chest 1 a little bit. Yes.
I feel like we need more.
There's no derpies.
No, we need like a scoop.
Because I kind of want to take advantage of this. The fact that their sides busted, because I thought about originally, like, drooping her arm.
This is like the third
Hmm?
I feel like I need to change it up.
Yes. Do it.
It's always me just doing a bad.
And you can't end any sentence in A.
But that's what you do all the time.
No, I don't. Say
This
A.
is A all the time. Don't listen to him. Like he just said it. Did you hear him?
It doesn't work that way.
I just see. Here's my best impression of. Oh, there's another one. We can only do one at a time.
Okay, first you gotta do me. You gotta catch up.
My best impression is Mike. What's wrong with you?
That's actually pretty accurate.
Why do you disappoint me on a regular basis? Wear pants.
Yeah, so there's a story with that one. So this morning I wake up, I took my shower, and then I walk. Normally after I take my shower, then not long after he goes into his, and our rooms are right across from each other. And so I walk out of my room to go downstairs, and like his door had opened, and then just slowly starts shutting over the course of like 4 seconds. Just, and I'm like, Michael.
No.
And you're like, just silent. I'm like, you can go in if you need. I'll wait. Because he wasn't wearing pants and he didn't want to come out with
I
them.
wasn't wearing pants. I thought perhaps he wasn't there and I could get to the bathroom without the need of pants.
But it's like the opening of the door and then just like, oop, maybe you won't notice. They do want you to do the one and only Gladys.
Gladys is like, this was a triumph. And making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Beep, boop, 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 boop,
Why were you
boop.
dancing with that?
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Is that their dance?
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
What's another dance?
Doo-doo. Doing a different dance. Doing a different dance. This is a different dance. Don't let them confuse you. It's totally a different dance. It's a different dance.
That was a different song too.
That was a different dance song.
Different dance song.
I know that whole song by heart, yes. Because I am a huge fan of Jonathan Colton, who wrote the song. I know a lot of his songs by heart.
Here he is just flexing his brain because he spends way too much time on Wikipedia.
I know, I just was a fan of Jonathan Colton. Like, I know his song, Skull Crusher Mountain, in completion.
Oh, the reflection, ignore it. I'll be covering that up.
There's actually quite a few of the songs, like R.E. Your Brains, which was featured in Left 4 Dead 2. I know that one by completion. Nah, I just like Jonathan Colton. His music is very nerdy.
Is that rain?
I think it's just leaves.
Okay, because those windows are open.
I think it's just the wind blowing.
Why can't I hear it over there?
So that window's not open?
I could hear it earlier. That's why I'm just concerned. I don't want to. If it's wind blowing in the rain, I don't want a brain coming in.
A brain?
The rain.
You said brain.
Did you try the Spyro model? No, I haven't. I haven't had a need for it. I do want to work. There's one thing I want to do with the Dragon model because I want to recreate one of the old Final Fantasy VII Bahamut intros at some point because I think it'd be fun. But I never did because when I went to go do it, the only Dragon model I could find at the time that worked was Rathalos, and when I grabbed that model, that became a Twitter account. So, yeah, I don't. That'd be future. How do you build a campfire in SFM? There's some. Dota technically has one, but you'll just basically just take stones, put it around some wood that's facing upwards, and then just grab a fire particle. That's probably going to be like there's a couple different ones. Dota has the best ones, but again, those files aren't really easy to get to anymore. Probably the best bet is going to be Half-Life, just one of the random fire ones.
I had a dream last night I could run super fast. I don't know if that's a weird dream, but it was fun. as part of the dream, what did have me like joining the military, which was weird. But they said that, okay, everybody go into this line except for you. You go into this line because you're fat. And I was like, well, that's not nice.
That also means in all of your dreams, you're still being self-conscious.
Yeah. Well, they put me in the fat guy line.
But why?
Because, well, that.
But why would your dream, and which is completely controlled by your own mind, be thinking
my
that?
subconscious isn't always kind. Like, even part of the dream, I got confused and got in trouble because I got on the wrong bus and they thought I had left.
It's kind of a cool shot right there, too.
Like, it was a weird dream. It's like I got on the wrong bus. I'm like, no, I gotta go back. And the bus driver was like, oh, we ain't going back. We're going this way.
Wait.
And I'm just like,
I'm thinking you kind of sounded like Chef from South Park. It's like, oh, we can't go that way.
It was just a mean bus driver. And then I got in trouble because I got on the wrong bus and I was like being threatened. And then I got in the fat guy line.
See, why do you have to hate on this guy in your dream? Apparently, you were the one in the wrong here.
I did mess up, but he was making it worse. And then I got out of the main area, and then I just started running super fast, and I was like Sonic the Hedgehog, kind of like with my speed. And everybody was like, "Wow!" And then my alarm went off, and I woke up. So that's how it goes. I have dreams like every night.
I tend not to.
Yeah.
I've had a little bit more now because I've been getting better sleep, but in general, I don't.
I do not sleep well.
Okay, so this one I kind of want to go like lower, because any direction I go, I can't. It looks forward, so I don't want to go directly forward. I'm going to go off to the side, and I can go up, but that doesn't really. That still looks kind of forward. Down at least looks unique, so I'm probably going to go down.
Shouldn't the weapons be pointing both in the same direction at all times?
Or if they, well, who knows? Or if they do go same, I'm gonna do like a lower. No, because I want asymmetric. So maybe if I do like this and then put it higher.
Nah, that's not great.
Well, I'm gonna be putting like an arm, and I'm gonna be readjusting things to make it work a bit better. I kind of like. There we go. She just shoots out her eye. Kind of like it being lower. The only other thing I can think of is have this one be low, and
I don't think you can really move that one much without it looking weird.
this one.
Yeah.
What am I new? Oh. It just money came out of my account, and I was like, "What the hell money come from?" I pre-ordered the Halo assault rifle Nerf gun like months and months ago, and they just invoiced it, which means it's shipping soon.
I have a rarity statue that should be on its way.
No, let's poke with this one. So let's see. We go. No, the reason I was thinking about having this one go down was thanks for the follow, Jake. Live here is pretty bad for me today. I think I'll just set it out today. Sure, if we don't have space and interest, Starlight. Oh, your internet's having problems? I'm sorry. Well, the recording will be up later. Now, if I do this one down, then what I can do is I can do this one up, straight, and...
That seems like a play on what happened with me. I thought about sending you a joke after I was like, I hope you don't do this during the stream. It's like, next time I'm gone, it's like, I sure hope you don't leave me a bunch of money that I won't be there to get.
Of all the things to pre-order. I have a bunch of stuff on its way. Like, I pre-ordered that because you get to, when Infinite comes out, you get to use that essentially in the game, which would be kind of cool. And I thought it was really, really neat. It's only like $45 something. And when I get it, I want to buff up the internals, and then I want to actually try to repaint it to be closer to the actual gun's colors, so it doesn't look so fakey. But I also like the case that I have only has 3 hard drive bays, but I need 5, and so I ordered 2 more of those, and that's supposed to be coming soon. I have another Rathalos little plushie. I pre-ordered like 9 months ago, a silver one, and that just came out recently, so that should be showing up soon. Alright, see you later, Metal Dragon. Nerf gun's the best way to fight with your siblings. I don't really care about the Nerf bit of it. I just thought it was super, super cool. And it comes with the DLC thing. And, well, the price wasn't that bad, and they're usually easy to take apart to paint, and so I can kind of make it my own thing. So, kind of the intent.
It's fun, but
no, how does this something like this work? So this one is aimed down, but then this one is slightly larger and then aimed forward. It fills the shot better, was the intent. Don't worry about this stuff hanging out.
I'm thinking a little bit about the practicality of like.
No, this is cool things, so you're not supposed to be thinking about how it actually works. Look at this guy.
No.
It's sad. So this one I thought, because I like the asymmetry that comes with it, and even like here you technically could have her like arm be up and like be like shoot that way.
Is this just
No, it's going to be animated. So the one thing he said was to have this spin slow, or to have the one spinning like it was going. This one could, or I could look like it's jammed or something, because it's supposed to be that something's beat up. That's why I don't want to animate anything yet, because I want to see if this is the correct direction. I'm not quite happy with her legs right now. I will be fixing that. I don't like how this hip is right here, which really I can probably just fix by just bringing it in like that. But I don't like the positioning of it right now. But I had admit the one thing I'd asked if she's gonna be floating, does that mean she's frozen in time float, or is she something else? And he had said to have little jets, so I need to find that too. How to have the gun rotate? That's actually easy. These models, like that last one that I grabbed here, it's called the chain gun one, right here. So this just rotates. So there's a bunch of different bones on this, so I have a lot of flexibility for doing. The difficulty though is that it's an infinite loop. So it's one of those things that is built to be running forever without a stop. And to do that, you have to make sure that the rotations then match up. So normally that's where you start dividing your animations into divisible numbers. Usually to me, the best number is 3, because you're usually running at 30 FPS. So 30 FPS is divided by 3 in tons of different ways. But and 24 is as well if you really wanted to, but this is gonna be in 30. So so you do it in 30, and then you say that her body motion is a 4-second, or say a 3-second loop. That the rotating of the guns are on a 1-second loop, and the wind effects are on a 6-second loop. Well, that means that in that 6 seconds, you have the same loop, and you have 6 versions of the one loop going on, 2 of the body motion and 1 of the hair, but at the end of the 6 seconds, they all hit the exact same time and they all reset at the beginning. So it then becomes an infinite loop. So that's what I will be doing for the spin, is I will figure out whatever the largest amount of time is and what I can divide it down to from there. And as long as the spin at the beginning gets back to the end, I'm fine. It's a little bit messy, but it's nothing I have to worry about right now. I just gotta wonder what people passing by the thumbnail of the stream with the robot horse and guns and portal with 3 viewers are thinking. Yeah, a little bit. I gotta be careful with their eyes. It looks a little derp because it's inlet or inset a little bit. The one thing I gotta work on too here is, so this is the camera I'm working on, but technically I could kind of do this. I kind of like this idea. I'm definitely going to change the body. I'm liking the head and the gun positioning right now. I just have to change some of the rest of it. talking about the ad that I did for this. I made this in 2013.
It's good. You gotta show it.
Because I made that right after I made
Derpy guys.
Oh yeah, I made this one, and then I just went and made it with Derpy instead. You're like zooming the ones to
Why
see
are you
big
showing
derps.
this one? It's not the good one.
Oh, I can't zoom
The
in.
good one has the derps.
Oh, see, this is, and then cupcake.
She's just like, I don't care.
Talking about this horse.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That's pretty cute, but no.
What if it was Derpy?
It'd be cuter.
But what if instead of a stool, it was an axe?
No. Why?
Because torture.
This is torture. He didn't click it, guys. Rage in the chat. I am pushing for anarchy.
I'm gonna readjust this to this kind of, because I like this angle. It fills the shot more. I might, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Only thing I can think of. Let's try a low millimeter camera. You
guys are the worst anarchists. Not gonna lie.
See, with the low camera, then you can really fill the shot, but I don't think that'll work. I have to allow space for stuff. And I'm probably going to get rid of these things.
There's somebody riding.
Riding in my room.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I'm heading out to work. Have fun, chat. All right, bye, Alice.
Boy.
Because of this angle, then, I can probably change this gun's angle slightly.
I have a feeling all those leaves are getting knocked off the tree. Which is sad, because that tree's super pretty.
Not the red one. Those are going to be still there for a little while. So this one, I'm not. I'm gonna have to extend the arm a little bit, but I do want to have it visible. I think the best place is gonna be right on the side there.
That's a danger.
Well, what are we animating today? We are working on. We changed it a little bit. I had a request / commission for doing this, but to have it or to do a loss or not a lossless, but a seamless loop of SweetieBot. And so but I need to have it done before, a good bit before Halloween. So I am working on that. Not really. I basically, Halloween's the 31st, as long as I get it done about a week beforehand, so just over 2 weeks. So not this Friday, but I do, it won't be. I will be working on this on my own time. That was actually the original intent, but because of the PC stuff that I had issue with last week, that took a week away from my time. So it took 3 weeks down to 2 weeks. And since I hadn't even started it at that point, it was, I would have been consuming every moment of my life to do it. So I checked and I was able to do it on stream. I don't want to do stuff like that without permission. So because of that, that is what we're doing. I will be working on this for a couple weeks then. I don't think it'll be that long. This is going to be the hard. Well, finding the correct pose and then animating it to look good is going to be the hardest part. Lighting should be pretty easy. All the rest of it should be not that bad. I'm not worried about the rest of it. It's just mainly getting this animation set up that's going to be the hard part. Oops.
Super horse. No.
I want to put her back in that same position, so I'm...
I got a turret just down there. 8 pieces.
So now I need to increase this. There we go. Nope, that needs to go up a little higher. It's gonna make... It's gonna make working on this an absolute disaster.
I love MLP too. I never
So can't
fell
get
out
that
of
close
it.
to her.
I got into it when I was 28. So, a little different.
It says, Mike, do your impression of Argo. Be careful. This should shape the future of your friendship.
This could.
It's funny because we had that about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So now you got to do you got to do another impression.
It's gonna be me doing an impression of you. I'm gonna have to keep mixing it up.
This is a Portal 2 map. It's Portal 2 map SP_A1_intros7. Alright, continue.
Alright. Well, you see, everyone, I'm gonna taunt Mike with derpies, and then I'm not gonna give them to him because he wants them, and I know it. So I will taunt him with derpies, and then I will refuse him the derpies. And this is the game I like to play. This is a fun game. I'm hoping to drive him insane one day. My name is Argo Daemon.
You said the name wrong.
Argo Dimension. Argo Dementia. My name is Lizard Demon.
Taking it back now. Well, I realized this is 60 frames per second I'm running in. I was wondering because I was like, wait, these are good at small little things. But it was pretty accurate. He gave you derpies when you weren't here. Yeah, because he was gone.
Yeah.
Like I said at the end, I have fun tormenting. All right, so I do have to plan times on this, and being this is 60 FPS, I basically have almost infinite flexibility on it. I really don't think this should be 60 FPS though. I never checked on it though. I'll keep it that way for now, as long as I work out on an even number. So I'm gonna probably plan on.
That's a good question. Are you a
A what?
lizard?
A lizard person? What does that mean? All right, dude. Gladys from Portal 2. Okay, so that one already came through as well, but now you got to do it again. But you can't sing the song because you did that already.
I can't sing the rest of the song.
Okay, that was actually another one that came.
I don't remember the second song so much. I remember the original song.
The other one started with like the turrets doing their singing thing.
One day you woke me up so I could live forever. Such a shame, saving happened to you. That's the first one. I can live one now. Yeah, I don't remember that song as well. So I will say, you monster. That was my impression. I did it.
Uh-huh.
You monster. You monster.
Actually, it sounds better through the cup.
I am a robot.
No, actually, this is pretty good.
Beep boop beep.
Mike yell into the mic. No, I have a neighbor that's complained about noise before.
Yes,
We're not gonna go.
There's foam here for that reason.
So I think I'm gonna do a 9-second is what I'm gonna plan for right now. And so how fast does it move if I do one rotation on 9 seconds?
Slow as molasses.
That's perfect. Okay. That's exact. It was supposed to be slow. I thought it would have been too slow. So what I normally will do to get a full 180 rotation is that if you look at the rotation for this, it's going to be all zeros. And so if I rotate this a little bit, you can see that one of the values will change. So these just become at an approximation of 0. That's why it's E -6. But this one has changed -23. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin it almost all the way. just a little bit short. Then I'm going to go in here, and it says now 3. I'm going to put it 0. Now it means that from this point to this point, it's 1 full rotation, and it will be exactly where that would start a new look. Technically, I could probably do this on this divided by 6, being that there's 6 chambers, and it's probably identical. So I could do this on a much slower rotation, but I'm not going to worry about it.
I feel that he couldn't hear me. So, okay. You monster. There we go.
He didn't ask for an impression. Why are you calling me a monster?
Ogre Damon's a monster.
It does look pretty good. You literally for still lying and trying to complete rotations. Well, this is if you're trying to loop rotations, because if you want to do, it's if you want to have a begin and end at the same time. So that's normally how I would do it. And like I said, it's about dividing it out. So if you needed to go, if you're going to do a 9-second loop, the fastest or the best you can do is either it rotating every 9 seconds, every 4.5 seconds, every 2.25 seconds. The only thing you can do is divide it out into the chunks that are divisible by that amount. So, or you could do 3 seconds because it would be 3, 3, 3. But you have to have it divisible in some way. But again, because of these chambers, you could divide it by 6 if you hit it just right. For instance, I don't know if I don't think I made a GIF of it. Oh no, I have a video of it. Hold on. Oh, maybe I kept it in this folder. Where's some of my time lapses?
All these videos. It's crazy. I need to read a bit more of this course so that I can get the rest of your video.
No, there's a certain time lapse I'm looking for. Oh. Here we go. So in this one, I was thinking Little Pip, but that was the Bluebird. So in this one, this is an infinite loop. So this will run forever without making it look like there is any repeat. The benefit, or the way I did this though, was that each of the trees are identical and then are broken down and will pop back up after they get out of camera. They are timed so that everything that's in there is just basically the same models being recycled and just come back into the conveyor belt of stuff. But I had to time it just perfectly so that each one overlaps with what the other one would have been. But then this will actually run forever. So the only thing that's actually not moving in this shot is the rocks and Trixie. Everything else is moving around her. And it worked pretty good, I think, so.
He's also cute. Fine. Don't forget that.
It's actually just the adult Trixie model like jammed into a filly's body. So that's the big thing with this is so this model, as long as it's the same, you could have this rotated one time all the way around, or 1/2, or 1/6, or 1/4, anything divisible by, well, I guess not 1/4, but anything divisible by 6. Because it technically would come back to its original position, but you'd have to figure out the math for it. So in this case, when I did that rotation, if I did 0 to 180, should be exactly the same. If I did 0 to 60, it should also be identical because that's divisible by 6. So this is where you're going to have to utilize your math schools. Okay, so I used to run a website for a calculator for MMO way back, and I had to actually use calculus to calculate some of the values from that. And I had giant graphs and a lot of math, and I learned a lot about Excel. And now my job is Excel, so kind of came in handy. Why do you have so many notifications?
What are you talking about? Oh,
Because I saw that when you were on the stream at Jade, you're like, look! And I'm like, oh my god, your whole top bar is things.
yeah, I don't know what they are.
But that tells you that there's things to do. So when I text you, how do you know?
My phone buzzes.
But what if you don't catch it?
Then I missed it and told me to do something.
Like when I go to the garage and you're checking your phone, like, oh. Oops.
To be fair, I didn't look at my phone at all. No, this is the word.
Oops. So her mid-side kind of... Oh no, that's supposed to be broken. So that's fine. I want to play with the lighting a little bit here. Just to kind of get a feel for stuff. So these did not get pulled in. So I'm going to grab those quick. So an easy way to yank a bunch of models over if they're like in another part of the map is select them, hit V. It'll automatically jump the camera to view that model. So now I can see that they're down there. And I got to move to here because the camera thing. And then shift click. Now they're back here. So now I don't have to go chasing after them. Oh. What is causing...
That's pretty evil looking.
What is causing that? I'll delete these just in case, but
Maybe it has something to do with that reflective surface that is looking at whatever you're looking at, and when you light up the surface, it lights it up through that too, and then lights up everything. I don't know. Theories.
it's limiting my Z value, essentially. Well, let me check something here. Because this is, it looks like it is going too far and hitting something. So what if we drop that max? So the max is determining... Alright, we're just going to make a new light. Oh, that looks like it didn't fix it. That is weird. It could be caused by the rotation stuff. Well, sometimes SFM is just goofy. I'm going to restart the software just in case that is causing something with it. I'm actually over time. What are we trying to make? It is just a small sweetie bot seamless loop. But I'm having some map issues. Because SFM runs on an older engine than Portal 2 ran on, I'm guessing. Yeah, it's still doing it.
Yeah, Portal 2 ran on a Source 2 engine. It was the first game, I think.
No, it ran on a modified version of Source 1. It wasn't Source 2. Portal 2 was like 6-7 years ago. No, it's probably more than that.
Super early version of the
Nope, because if that was the case, then I wouldn't be able to load up everything. It was a heavily modified version of the original engine. I might need to poke around with that and figure out what's going on.
There is a Source Filmmaker too, but it's not really finished yet, and really only became usable after Alex was released.
Okay, I'm trying a couple things to see if I can control what it's hitting, and therefore fix that issue. Okay, well that's... It is a shadow issue. So I just cannot use shadows. Which does limit me a little bit. I can get away with it.
It was working fine before. What happened?
Because I was using lights off. And that's fine. If I have to, I can utilize I can go without it. Or I can change maps or something. So if I definitely need to. That actually reminds me too. Yeah, something's being weird here because I can't even see the focal distance. Huh. Well, that might be because I'm outside the map. But I can just do it manually. There it is. Oh, I was too... It was outside the map, so it just wasn't rendering. So I want to be to there. And let's turn that aperture up for now. I have a feeling with some of the other needs that it's not going to have much. But yeah, there is an SFM2. It just... The main reason I haven't utilized it is we ported some models over. Main one I ported was Rathalos because I had all the source files for it and I understood how it worked. So I ported Rathalos over and I got the model in there and the bone structure worked and everything, but none of the flexes worked. So while I was able to make or bring it in and animate it, I had no control of the face. And we looked it up, and there's still an issue importing the facial structure stuff. There's a way to do it, but it is immensely complicated, and you have to write this whole custom script for it. And we were just like, nope. So we'll go back to there some other day. But the other problem is all the models that I have used for however long I've been using the software have all or over there, and I don't want to say bye to them.
They're working on something to make it easier.
Yeah, they're working on porting the tools. They just haven't gotten to it yet.
I say once they have a tool to port all the source code, make it one model.
Yeah, that's why SFM2 isn't a downloadable thing. You have to download Alex or the source tools, and then it comes with it, and it is only in the mod tools in a button. And so it's a little bit deep.
Yes, foul. Gagnul, may he bless us with new products. When he's not being weird. Every time I see pictures of him recently where he's just wearing like the loose-fitting white shirts and has the long hair, it's like, you changed.
Because he doesn't care.
Yeah,
He's motherfucking Gabe Newell.
I think he's just trying to become like
The what?
like, well, if they're gonna worship me, might as well look the part.
So we've got to just throw in some stuff in here to see what sticks.
I think he really wants Starlight on a space adventure.
Aggressive. Tutorial said not to go to Space Adventure with Starlight. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what's going on here.
That's not like reverse psychology or
Yep. Well, see, with Michael before, when he left and then I did the opposite, well, then they're like, well, then just leave again and he'll make more stuff. But I said that if he does it again, I'm doing the opposite. And I'm gonna make a whole stream of murder derpies. Well, the white lighting looks good. It's really basic right now. I definitely want to, like right now, like you can get some really, really nice, like right here on her edges. I can get some really nice edge lighting, but that's because there's constant vertices all the way around, and I'm hitting just the very, very edge of a vertice. On here, though, especially on the edge of this thing, there is no edge, so it's hitting here, but there's nothing to actually have that that flat side visible on the other side. So it has to be rounded in some way to be able to do that. So now I have that issue where if I want to actually have the light hitting and coming around that edge, I have to do the lighting very different, which normally means that I have to bring a light all the way around like this and like light it like this ever so slightly. So it's a little frustrating doing that, or coming up with other workarounds for that. And the ultimate method would be to come up with a texture that is the same direction and shape of that, and then apply that to a light just to hit that direction. No, I'm not going to do that. SFM is a tool. Yeah, it is. I hate being lazy because I want to record and edit videos for my YouTube, but yeah, I'm too lazy until it's been a month or two. Well, see, I was really lazy too. Earlier this year, I was super lazy, but then I started losing weight, getting more sleep, and I found that was a lot of loss of, or a lot of motivation I was missing. I was spending a lot of time, or I was just low sleep and in getting fat, and that was just lowering my motivation, lowering my energy levels. And when I started changing some of that, I got that energy back to start working on it again.
I mean, you could always just start drinking like 10 cups of coffee.
I drink 2.
You normally have 1.
So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep that one there, but what I want to do, I'm going to be ending the stream pretty quick here, or at least ending the SFM here. I want to add some color, but I don't want to make her look like a cop. So I'm going to add some blue. That's green. So right now it looks purple. That's actually kind of that's kind of cool. It's purple because I mixed the two colors, but it's a purple I probably wouldn't be able to make otherwise. Thanks, Ninja.
What's that dinosaur say?
Rock and roll. And then he rolls off the screen. I can't drop it for a minute, but I hope y'all have a good week so far. It's been going pretty good so far. Because Derpy doesn't talk. And I can do whatever audio I want. Derpy doesn't talk, you say. Nope.
It's like the stance of Hasbro in general.
Okay, so it kind of works, but now, okay, I'm really distracted here. I kind of like, I have an idea and I don't want to stop before I do it. So this light we're gonna do, it's evil. So this is going to be red eye. So this one's going to be locked to this one.
You should have heard him earlier. I'm not allowed to leave. He will hurt Derpy.
So we're going to put that out here. Rotate 180. Yep, right in the face. Okay, and then
mean, maybe if Jay was playing steampunk. I'm not steampunk. It's frostpunk. I'm really into that game right now.
And
That'd be about it.
so we're going to do that to there. We're going to do the cut off far edge and near edge, just instant. We're going to bring this in. And we're going to bring this in. Okay. So I want to narrow this down to basically hitting nothing more than just the eye. Okay, and then zoom it way in, turn that way up so I can see it. Okay. Oh, I'm zoomed in too far. If you zoom in too far, it actually inverses. It's still inverted. Come on. The controls are weird. Alright. There. Just a little wider. Alright. I made it bright so I could see it. Okay. And then I can see if...
You gotta make it like glow. Back and forth.
Hmm?
You're gonna make it bright and dim and bright and dim.
Well, I can. Though this one I might change because I think having the black center is good, but I might have a volumetric that comes out of it that makes the whole area look like it glows. Or do something like something like this. Where you have the kind of the shine of the eye coming up. It's still going a little too far. Yeah, something like that. Just then you have like the little like eye glow. But I can poke with that later. And then you add in like After Effects, some of the effects for the like a lens flare on the eye and stuff. But I like the contrast with a little bit of blue to kind of make it like an indigo purple and stuff. So, but I'll poke more with that later.
I mean, don't you think this would be better if we got a juice box? Sam.
Or what song is that? So that's probably a song ago. So I'm playing Epic Frozen Sounds right now. You're probably thinking this one. Unless you're thinking the one with the singer. Because this is Fireflies. It's a good song. Otherwise, if it was the one before that, then it was Eternal Flame by Alexa, with Alexa Ray, Adam Music. Leader started last night, it's giving me motivation to finally watch all the tutorials and start to understand things. Yes, learning is the hardest part. Trying to think of what else. The other thing I have to do in here is I do need to do layered green screening because of some of the needs that are for this. So, but I'm not worried about that right now. I need to first render this out and see if that's the general idea that we're going off of. But there's a lot of things. This is like very early. I need to cut out or do some lighting to separate that gun a little more. I need to shrink down this because it's way too big. This one, shrink down that because it's a little too big. Change some of the lighting on this. Change the I do not like anything below the waist. I need to get that figured out. Add some little jets to give an idea as to what's going on and how she's staying up, which is going to cause extra lighting.
Maybe she should have like rockets coming out of her hooves like Iron Man.
Oh, there's also supposed to be a laser.
Yeah.
Potentially. Which I have an idea for. I'm curious how that's going to turn out. There's no SFM2 standalone. Not really. And even if it did, it's there's things that are wrong with it that are not worth being able to use right now. But I'm going to close that out for now because we're going to be ending it here. Yeah, do look up some information because it doesn't work quite the same. The things that do work better are great. I really like the things that do work better, but other than that, there's some.
I have a giant blue glow on my head. Do you see that?
Yes.
It's concerning. What is happening? Don't touch it. No. No. Wait.
What's going on? It's just like it's like.
It's so blue.
This is wouldn't need listening, but missing the option entirely would be annoying. Well, you can't even do facial expressions. So you can't. You're gonna have issues with smiling, anger, anything. They're just gonna be a blank stare. Well, I think you can move the eyes, but they're gonna be basically like blank faced, just the standard face. To notice the way it's just too busy looking at the face. Yeah, and that's always the focus. But it was. I'm not one for trying to plan out exactly what I want to have in something and then make that. I'm big on, I know the general idea for it, so I'm just going to start grabbing things and moving it around, and eventually the idea will start molding itself. So it's like to make a clay pot. You get the clay, but then you are slowly turning it into a pot. But even for a while, there's no center in the hole. Like you're just making the shape. So it's just. You just it's slow manipulation until you get to where I want to be. Sorry for just really in the sleep. No, that's fine. You can do whatever you want. If people are talking about it, it's because they're interested in it. Howdy, sunset. We're gonna be ending soon. You destroyed the light. How will I walk through the dark now? Oh. But again, speaking of light, I do plan to come out with a tutorial on negative light. I want to try to do this Friday, but it depends. I'm going to try to record it tomorrow, but it depends on how much time I have.
We're streaming tomorrow.
At 7.
Yeah.
I can do it before stream. The hardest part is recording it. The editing is the easy part. So, but that's going to cover the 3 things of, with the negative light, you can create a cheap artificial bump map for surfaces that is usable. I've done it before quite a few times. Animatable one too. You can create false shadows. So like if you ever watch in cartoons when like the cartoon character is standing in place, so they'll have a round shadow underneath them. You can technically use the negative light to make a shadow that is underneath somebody. I've used it multiple times in different things. Including, I think, Saitwai had some in there, too. Yeah, I think so. I also did it for...
did it a lot on the full metal chemistry.
Yeah, because in this one, that's what I use the negative light to do this. So normally the lighting underneath him would be just as bright as around him. So I use the negative light to actually enhance the area underneath him to make it feel like there's a shadow. It's the cartoony type of shadow. It's just a round circle. But it actually does a pretty good job. And then what was the other run? Bump maps, shadows. Oh, and decals. Using a negative light to create a colored decal. Blood stains are the best and easiest, but then you can basically make it for anything. Argo helped me get AJ and Tabby out of my house. Just burn the house down. Just escape. You're done. And thanks, like, for television. So I think that'll be it. So, I will be. I probably will not be streaming Friday. I'll see. I'll put out some information if I do or what. But Adam the Amazing is visiting for a few days, so he will be here. So probably will not be streaming. And a cheeky voice impression thing. No. I will be streaming tomorrow though. We are streaming Monster Hunter. The stream that we were going to do last Thursday. Now that I have the streaming set up, we can stream tomorrow, and I can stream any game from my PC with perfect everything. So no cooking mama. Nope. But the cool thing though is the fact that now I can just like go in here and be like dupe, and now I'm at 2K. I like being able to do that. That's nice. It's just much smaller stuff for you guys. But yeah, so we will be streaming tomorrow some Monster Hunter, where we are playing with a mod that he made, and and has funny stuff potentially. So potentially, because you never know. So if you want to stop by for that, awesome. Otherwise, I think that'd be it. As always, been a blast chatting with you too. I see you work. Thanks for the stream. Well, thanks for coming by and supporting. It actually is. It makes getting stuff done a lot more fun, for sure, 100% for sure. So thank you very much. Streaming games, cool. Are we getting a rip roaring game Pong? No, we'll do Monster Hunter tomorrow. I do want to stream more games, but I'm glad that stream at least showed me that I was missing something for being able to stream higher end titles. There was no way I was going to be able to stream anything other than some lower end stuff. SFM does not use much CPU, so that's why I was doing fine before. But now there is a dedicated PC that is like right here. That is doing the rendering for the encoding for streaming. So now I can stream anything I want, and in 2K. Not like it matters for Twitch. I have. Oh, this. Yes, I'm sorry about Friday. I have an idea for something potentially to do, but it depends on whether or not we want to put the time into setting it up and to doing it. But more on that later. I will post something on Twitter or something if we do, or on Discord. I've seen some streams and I'm on the side of keep doing streams. Oh, that whole thing with YouTube. Yeah, it was frustrating when I got a lot of comments from people that were saying specifically that if I'm streaming, it's because I'm streaming and not spending time making animations, but they're the same thing, which was really frustrating because they're saying don't do this, do that. So they're saying take the fun out of things. So that's where that comment was from. I don't plan to ever stop streaming. I don't care what people say on that. It was just frustrating because it was looking like there was a good amount of people that were thinking that streaming was goofing off and instead of working. But really, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. But they're the same thing. There's a request stream. Yeah, well, you're here, and I love that you're here and supporting, but it's not the case. There's some people that only want you to just keep shitting out animations, and they don't care how long it takes. Or they want you to spend less time having fun and more time doing the things that they want you to do, and that's what the frustrating thing was. Because I have a full-time job. I work during the week, so this is only in whatever time I have left after that. So I'm taking my free time and the time that I could be enjoying doing my own thing, watching movies or anime or playing video games, and I'm instead spending it to make content, and that's where it gets frustrating.
No fun.
Basically, he goes streaming. They won't have YouTube videos more. I would probably still make videos, but it would slow way down. I'd probably lose the motivation and eventually stop because I'm not good about working on things on my own. But anyways, that's going to be it because we're streaming tomorrow and then people are coming. I don't have any evenings free for a while. So thank you for coming by. Thanks for the support. And see you guys tomorrow, maybe. Last week when we started the stream, there was 100 people here and then it failed. So I'm guessing it's going to be about the same next week. Thanks for the follow. Long live National Socialism. Why'd you make me say that? Okay. Thank you guys very much. Have what is it, Michael? I did check. At least this works. It didn't work until like right before the stream. All right.
You should just post the turkeys. No. Meow meow.
Meow meow.